Ladies, gentlemen, pets, wild animals with a capacity to recognize and mourn death. We've all had some sort of experience with death, and a lot of times people wonder how is that we can cope with that, mourn, and accept the fact that somebody, a form of life is gone forever. And a lot of it, yes, is time. Time heals all wounds, except another big part of that is community. The Vietnamese culture actually allows for community in times of mourning. In fact, it fosters it. During funeral processions and annual times of remembrance, it's common for there to be guided mourning. So there will be a leader that tells the people when to humiliate, when to be quiet, when to pray, and other forms of respect. And that's important because it creates structure. And a part of every group of people there needs to be structure of some sort, because that's how order is kept and different forms of chaos is not created. So with that structure, by guiding the people in when to do things and how to do it, there's a sense of society that's also created in which the community comes together and it shares in something that's common, something that we all must face. In facing these tribulations together, there is also another effect that's created. That effect being that the people don't worry too much about forgetting about their loved one, because they know that there's a time where they will have that they can use to actually remember them. Not only do they do that alone, but they do that as a community. The annual times of remembrance is when they come together and they recall those that have passed away. Something I find particularly significant about these practices of remembering regularly is how they're viewed. The loved ones that have passed away, the ancestors, are believed to have gone on to another realm of sorts. It's an ancestral realm, almost like heaven. And they are believed to actually influence the lives of the living regularly, constantly interceding and helping those that are still alive. Part of that process for them to get there is the mourning of those that are living, because their sorrow, the sorrow of the people that are alive, actually helps them to reach that ancestral realm. But also, the fact that they're still interceding in the lives of the people that are alive is pretty unique, because they're never really gone, and that allows for the people to not necessarily let go or hold on to the memories of those that have passed away, but rather live with them and accept that death is just a part of life, and in life there is death. There becomes an interplay between life and death in which the community isn't necessarily just the living or just the dead, but actually both in communion with the other. The deceased act as a reminder to those that are alive that they need to appreciate one another, and it really emphasizes the familial unit. The people that are alive use the ancestors to teach future generations about community and the need for ethical conduct, really. The idea of the ancestors actually hold the people accountable, because they're like, oh, hey, great, grandma, you're up there, you're interceding for me, so I gotta live my life well, and I've gotta take care of those that are around me, because that's what you did, that's what you expect me to do, and that's what I expect the future generations to do. It's truly just a form of self-governance that gets created because of the idea, this cultural and religious belief that those that are dead aren't truly dead, and those that are alive need to be taken care of in some form. Which may be leaving many of us wondering, why is this important to me? Because this doesn't take care of me in any way. What difference does it make to me that the Vietnamese culture believes all these things about the ancestral realm and community? Well, I'm not telling you this because I'm telling you, hey, become Vietnamese. That's not possible. It's because it reflects a lot of world beliefs and historical mechanisms in coping with death. Most religions offer some sort of explanation or an idea to put faith into about what happens after life. That is arguably the reason the Vietnamese culture has survived for so long, is because its emphasis on community. The people are in it together. They face death together, they mourn death together, they create society structured around their cultural and religious belief together in responses to death as a reflection of the entirety of their community. And the Vietnamese culture is not only just Buddhist, but it's heavily influenced by Christianity as well. My family, a Vietnamese family, is a Catholic family, and it's hard to get more Catholic than my grandmother. But I do want to leave you with this memory. When I was little, I remember my mom was looking up the night sky. We were sitting in the backyard, and she looks up and she goes, "You know, the stars, they've always provided me solace when I'm lonely," because my mom said that each twinkling light is a loved one, an ancestor that's passed away, watching over us. So I've witnessed how this sense of togetherness can provide comfort and a response to death, and if nothing else, some reason to not be lonely. So thank you for listening. That was my TED Talk. Hope you're not depressed now after talking about death. What was I saying?